Hey everybody, today I'm going to speak about some interesting things. Let's do a bit of spiritual commentary. This might be a bit confronting, but I got revelation like last year, I think it was, or a while ago about this certain thing, and it just came up again today for me. And the title of this video is going to be called, Is Wi-Fi Most People's God? I really feel like, and not feel, but you can really look around and realize that over the last 20 years or 25 years or whatever, the internet has slowly but surely increased its dominion in everybody's life and nearly seeped into every facet of everybody's life almost undetected. Most people are just run by their addiction to the internet. Like, if the internet was to black out tomorrow, your average person would go completely insane. They would lose their minds, because slowly but surely the internet is basically involved and consists of most aspects of everybody's life. We get our entertainment from it. We get our news from it. We get our ideas from it. We do banking through it. The practicalities of life are all within it. I mean, every facet of our life is the internet is involved within it in some way. And I really believe, like, if the internet was to shut down tomorrow, most people would absolutely lose their minds. They would not know what to do with themselves, because unknowingly they are receiving a lot of fulfillment through the soul purely based on their engagement with the internet, whether it be YouTube, videos, entertainment, stimulation, just mental stimulation in general, doom scrolling, whatever it is. We are so hooked into this thing that we don't even realize that it consumes most of our time, energy. It consists of most of our entertainment, stimulation, and gives us a fake feeling of fulfillment. We think we're doing things in life, but when you take the internet out of the equation, you realize how empty your life is. And that you realize it doesn't consist of much. It's staggering. Now, depending on how you use the internet, like if you are, let's say you're addicted to porn, for example, your soul does not know the difference. Your programming, I should say, does not know the difference between real life and virtual reality. It thinks that what is it's viewing in real life, viewing on the internet, is real life. So when you have someone who's addicted to porn, for example, their soul, their mind, their body is getting this fulfillment of sexual pleasure, right? And stimulation. And they're viewing all these different women online and all these different things, and they think that this is normal. Their mind thinks this is normal. When that's taken away from them, their soul freaks out, because it's like, but what? I'm used to having like hundreds of women a day. I'm used to having all the sexual pleasure I could possibly fathom. I'm used to having stimulation like cocaine every second. And now this is gone. Where is my drugs at? Literally. And your soul will freak out. You'll completely freak out. You'll become a psychopath. The internet is training people how to be psychos. Like, my little brother goes to school. You know, he's like in year 8 or whatever, and everyone there is just like this meme regurgitator. Like, something will happen on the internet where a meme will go viral, and then everybody in the classroom will just regurgitate this thing over and over again. It's like, it's hooked into everybody's soul. They're just brainwashed and programmed by the next meme. It's insane. If you take the internet away from people's lives, they will realize quickly that their life consists of basically nothing. That their life consists of and is made up by a lot of junk on the internet. Now, the internet is kind of neutral in nature, in the fact that if it's used responsibly, it can be a powerful tool. But I just want to alert you to some things. Why do I say that Wi-Fi is most people's God? Because Wi-Fi, the way Wi-Fi works, and this is the other interesting thing, it works through radio waves, right? We can't even see it. Now, the devil is referred to as the prince of the power of the air in the Bible. Put that together, bro. The internet works through radio waves through the air. Who is the prince of the power of the air? The internet is a power. It's like an entity. It's called the World Wide Web. Like a worldwide trap, a spider's trap. People's entire life is based on this fake reality. It's like you're already in the matrix. People are like, oh, AI is coming up. Guys, your whole life is based and revolves around the internet already. If you were to take it away from your daily activity, you would not know what to do with yourself. You couldn't do your banking. You would not have fulfillment and entertainment. You would not know what to do with yourself, literally. You would freak out. You would freak out. If you actually try to consecrate and just lived in the mountains and shut down all your phones and all your devices and just stopped using the internet, you would like start freaking out. You would freak out because your mind is so used to getting that hit every couple of seconds. And there's a lot of Christians out there saying, Jesus is my Lord. Jesus is my God. And yet their prayer lives are very minimal and they spend most of the time on the internet. And a simple test for this is, do I spend more time with God in prayer and the Word? Or what is the difference? Or how much time do I give to the internet through vain entertainment, gaming, movies, even worldly work tasks? How much time do I give the internet through that compared to how much time I spend with God? It's a very simple test. If you spend more frivolous time on the internet through things like entertainment and other worldly work, and I'm not talking about ministry stuff, and you spend more time doing that than with God, then you have to wonder, is Jesus really your Lord, or is Wi-Fi your God? This is the biggest idol we have. I'm serious. It is the biggest idol in most people's lives, including Christians. People of the world don't know any different, so yeah, they're completely consumed by it. But I'm talking to Christians here. Do a test, evaluate your life. Is my spiritual life, like, do I spend more time with God or do I spend most of my time on the internet? Work it out, look at it, because I'm serious. If you spend more time on the internet doing meaningless things, like even if it's worldly work related things, compared to your time spent with God, your God is not God. Your God is Wi-Fi. I'm keeping it real. And I've been through this too. I've been through this stuff. Like, I've had to evaluate my internet addiction and be like, what is going on here? I've gone through, and it never ends. It's an insatiable lust. It's an insatiable dopamine hamster wheel. It's like, I've been through phases where crazy things on YouTube have become my new source of entertainment. You know, one day it's UFC for a while. The next time it's gotten so crazy. Like recently I've watched like dash cam videos. Like honestly, I got addicted to this for like 3 days, where like there's a dash cam video set on someone's car and they're just driving through these different hoods in America, like Alabama and rundown places. And I was just like captivated by it for like 3 days. And this is my new source of entertainment. It doesn't matter what you're watching. It's just this, your soul wants the next dopamine hit. That's what it is. It's actually a dopamine hit. The entertainment at some point doesn't even mean anything. It's not even what you're watching. It's just like, if you start cutting out all the other entertainment, which is really stimulating, like things you're really interested in, like movies and TV series and I don't know, just a higher level of entertainment, then you'll go, oh, instead I'll just start watching this. And it'll be something like bland, but it doesn't matter because your soul just wants a dopamine hit. It's mad. It just craves just being stimulated for a second. It's just like, the internet, if not used responsibly, is like, it's madness. I'm not joking. So most people are just sitting there scrolling, just in this matrix, like completely overwhelmed and addicted to this thing, and no one wants to talk about it. Like Wi-Fi is the biggest addiction in the world. Now, if you can use Wi-Fi responsibly and not let it use you, it can be a very powerful and effective means for the kingdom of God, 100%. But as a Christian, you've really got to watch your internet addiction. It's such a slippery slope. You've got to really watch what you're watching. You really do in this current time. It's brutal, and it can destroy your spiritual life very fast if you don't keep tabs on it. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? So Paul says, I will not come under the power of anything. So he says, I am free to do anything. Paraphrasing. I pretty much have the freedom to do anything, but I will not come under the power of any. And I've got to keep it real, guys. Most people are completely overwhelmed and under the power of Wi-Fi. It is their God. They worship it every day. They spend all their time on it. They're consumed by it. It's what they do first thing in the morning. They wake up, scroll on their phone. They get their entertainment from it. They get their fulfillment through it. Most people get their sexual fulfillment through it. They connect with people through it. Their relationships are based on it. Their work is done through it. The way they deal with their finances and all of this stuff is done through it. It's everything, bro. It's a whole mechanism, a matrix, an entity where people's whole lives are controlled by it. If you were to shut down the internet, people's lives would fall apart. They would not know what to do with themselves and they couldn't do much. The internet has become the focal point of pretty much everyone's life. It's the truth. Even when you're out, people are just scrolling. There's always a new thing to watch. It never ends. It's endless. 90% of what's on the internet is complete garbage. There's a corner of the internet which has true godly teaching, edification, and real Christian stuff, and that's the only good part of the internet. The rest is a complete distraction, frivolous nonsense, and will destroy your spiritual life if you let it. And it's very powerful. Even someone who has a serious prayer life, fasting life, and all of this can get drawn away by the waves of the internet, the currents of the internet very, very quickly. So like I said before, people talking about AI, that's just the next step. You know, people talking about the mark of the beast. You've already got it in your hand, bruh. The phone, the Wi-Fi. I mean, you can't really, it's getting to the point where you can't really do much transactions without Wi-Fi. I'm just keeping it real. I mean, it's one step away. Let's keep it real. Digital ID, oh my gosh, bro. Your ID is already in the internet. You got a digital footprint. You're trackable everywhere you go. It's like, I'm keeping it real up in here. It's very confronting, but it's the truth. Now, what is the answer to all of this? You can't let the internet control you. You've got to control it. It's got to be under your dominion. If you just let the internet do whatever with your mind, you will end up in crazy places. You've got to have boundaries with it. You've got to be like, only use it for things that are going to edify you and teach you and train you in the right way. Because it can be a powerful tool also for good, but most people don't use it responsibly. And I go through bouts where I start slipping with it too, where I'll just watch nonsense for too long, where I'll entertain worldly things. And more to the point, it will get my dopamine tendencies going again, where I'll just start losing time and forgetting what's important and searching for another high and something more to watch. And it's just exhausting. You get to the point where you're just tired of YouTube. Millions of voices all just talking. And I'm one of them. And it's like most of it is just a distraction. I don't know. People's entire life is based on this fake reality. It's just the prince of the power of the air. Like, honest question. Is Wi-Fi most people's God? People saying, Lord, take all the idols from my life. They don't know what they're asking. Because I feel like the biggest idol in the world is this. Wi-Fi. Very useful, very practical, I ain't gonna lie. For like life things, like maps and internet banking and emails and connecting with people. But at the end of the day, it's also a massive distraction and gets you viewing things that you would never view or be exposed to if the internet wasn't there. It's like, if you take the internet away from your life, things become a lot more dull. There's some things you're not supposed to see, like they're not even a part of your paradigm, yet you're able to see them because they're on the internet. And suddenly you're in different worlds where it's like, Your mind doesn't know the difference between fake experiences and real experiences. And this is how people accumulate trauma and soul wounds and horror in their lives through things they've viewed on the internet, and they haven't actually been in that situation themselves. They're just part of it now because they've viewed it. It's like I say, pornography is like an occult ritual. And by you viewing it, you're partaking in it. And what that allows access into your life, I don't even, bro, I'm serious. Like, you don't even know what you're exposing yourself, like who you're exposing your being to, your soul to, and how many hooks they now have in it. You might be like infiltrated from witches and covens across the world just from the things that you've viewed. Because now you're exposed to it. Now they have a gateway into your life. Like, it gets that deep. Whereas before, they might not be able to even see where you are. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, whoa. There's some things we're not supposed to know. There's some things we're not. It's like the tree of good and evil. Constantly in our faces. This person's bad. That person's good. The news, this, that, the other. And it's all like novelty. You want to learn about some hacker who, I watched that the other day. Some hacker who hacked NASA and the Pentagon when he was like a kid. And it's an interesting documentary. But do I need to know about it? Probably not. Just pointless information. It's interesting. Does it help me in any way? No. It's just meaningless, trivial entertainment. It is interesting. Does it help my spiritual life at all? Nope. Does it add anything to my life? Not at all. This is what I'm talking about. We have to be like, what actually helps me and is educational in the right way versus what is frivolous entertainment that just is time wasting, dopamine hitting, dopamine spiking drivel. Confronting. When was the last time you just sat there in silence? We always need something on. I've got to go to sleep with something on in the background. I've done that for years. I need entertainment every second of the day. If I don't have it, then I'm confronted with the meaning or with the emptiness of my own life. This is really what it is. Most people are scared to see or to face a reality that their life is really not that exciting. They're living vicariously through all these other different things on the internet. And like I said before, the mind doesn't know the difference. So it's just like, I'm doing this. I'm not joking. And it gives you a false sense of fulfillment. Especially with all these like GoPro or what are they called? POV videos where like people are doing stuff. And if your mind just thinks it's you, bro. And you're like, wow, I'm doing this now. But you're actually not. And when all of that goes, you're like, oh, I just wasted a decade. I don't know who I'm speaking to here, but I'm just speaking to people in general. Like it's that much of a drug. It's that powerful. And your average kid now has grown up on this level of technology from the get-go. So these kids will turn into monsters if you take this stuff away from them. They don't know the difference. They don't understand. You take this drug away from them and they'll be like, oh, they won't know what, they'll freak out. It's like mental asylum level. I'm not joking. It's like literal withdrawal. My younger brother used to live with my dad and my dad would just leave him to play video games like 12 hours a day, right? And now he lives with me because my dad passed away. And the first year or something, trying to get him back to a baseline level of just like internet usage was tough. He was going through literal withdrawals. Literal. And everyone would. If you just cut the internet out cold turkey, you would go through withdrawals like a cocaine withdrawal. I'm serious. Your soul would freak out. Some people have been turned into psychopaths because of the internet. They're so used to living these fake imaginary lives that when they can't get access to that, or they don't, they just have a complete faulty perception of reality. You know what I'm saying? So they expect things that aren't real. It's like, I'll go back to the pornography point. It's like if you've only known that for like 10 years of your life, you just expect that. You're like, oh, but that's what I'm entitled to. I'm entitled to like 100 women a day, because your soul doesn't know the difference, literally. So then it just has all these like unrealistic expectations. Like, but that's what life is, when it's not at all. And then when that thing's taken away from you, you become a psycho. This is how like people become rapists, because their soul thinks it's normal. Their soul thinks, oh, they're just being trained like that. Their heart's been trained in wicked practices. So when it's no longer available, when they're no longer getting that feed, or they want to just up the level of it, and they think that they are entitled to that in real life because they've been doing that on the internet for so long, they just do crazy stuff to fulfill it. They're like, well, this is what I've been experiencing all this time. This is what life is. When it's not at all. And this is how people end up in jail and stuff. This is how people do crazy things, guys. And as a Christian, it's like we've got to really guard our eye gates and ear gates. And I've got to look at my life and evaluate it every day. What am I watching on YouTube? Is this thing becoming out of control again? Am I starting to watch things that really do not benefit my life at all? How much of the internet is consuming my daily time? You got to get an Excel spreadsheet on this thing and be like, and really work it out, because am I spending more time worshipping Wi-Fi than God? When was the last time I read the Bible? When was the last time I prayed? That's a good test. How much time do I spend on the internet versus how much time I spend with God? It's a good test for any Christian out there. You can really be like, okay, maybe Jesus is not my Lord right now. Maybe I need to reevaluate who my God is. And like I said before, the prince of the power of the air and Wi-Fi, there's an argument there. There's a discussion there. There's a discussion. We can't allow, as believers, the internet to use us. It has become an idol in most Christians' life. I'm not talking about unbelievers right now, because unless you're born again, you can't help it anyway. But as a believer, you've got to be like, how much internet is consuming me? How much of the internet am I dedicating my time to? You've got to look at it like an entity almost. I know it's weird, but it's truth. It's like most people have an altar in their bedrooms and their houses, and it's called the screen. Graven images. They just sit there, just clicking away. Dopamine, 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 like a little rat. Or scrolling. This. Bro, if you were to like look at just someone, just say, let's say you were an angel or a spiritual entity outside of this human physical realm, and you were just looking, like you were just observing, or you were just observing someone in a room outside of that person's knowledge, and they were just like this, and you had no idea what the internet was, or these devices were, they would look like they're insane. They're just like this. All day. They would look completely insane. You would be like this, you'd be like, they're bewitched. They're under a spell. And it is like that. The internet can bewitch you. You can become just like completely captivated and drawn out and just zombified by it. People are like, oh, my little Johnny has a gaming addiction. No, it's not the gaming addiction. It's a Wi-Fi, because I guarantee you take away the games from the equation, that's just another level of it. Another level of dopamine spike or dopamine hit. You take that away and little Johnny will be watching, I don't know, surfing videos all day. You take the surfing videos away, suddenly like, oh, what now? And you realize they'll end up just watching anything. Like a documentary on dolphins, and they don't even care about dolphins at all. But as long as it's a screen stimulating their dopamine, it's all good. And then you take that away and they're just like, whatever, I'll just anything. A black screen will do. It's not actually the content, it's the dopamine hit you get from the plugging into the stimulation of visualness, whatever that is. It's bewitchment, it has a hypnotizing effect. It's the screens, guys. It's the Wi-Fi connection. There's just different levels of it. There's innocent seeming cat videos compared to hardcore pornography. It's just different levels of dopamine, but it's the same mechanism is what I'm trying to say. And it really is, because I used to be a drug abuser. I know it. I know it's the same mechanism. When I went on my journey of praying in tongues 7 hours a day for a month, this thing reared its ugly head about the third week in. My spiritual, I pinpointed the difference between my soul nature or what was in my soul and my spiritual nature. And I felt peace and calm, and I felt the Spirit strongly, right? My spiritual side through all this prayer, but my soul started losing it was freaking out. It was like, I just need more dopamine. Oh, and I started watching crazy stuff on YouTube that I wouldn't even care about normally. Just to break up the seeming monotony. Like my soul can't sit still. It couldn't handle just praying. It couldn't handle being beaten down into submission to the Spirit. It couldn't handle it. And I had to freak out and be like, any kind of stimulation will do. This is why I know that was like, I quote in my diary, I was like, my soul was a junkie, because it still had these tendencies of like, and it all goes back to my drug past and all of this stuff where it just wants a dopamine hit, but it's the chicken or the egg. It's the same stuff. It's the same mechanism in the brain. You know what I'm saying? So most people are in this state they don't even realize. And their depravity in their soul is masked by a fake peace that they receive through getting fake fulfillment through the internet. They think their lives are all good and they're just going along, but really if you break it down, it's because they're getting their different little dopamine hits and their little entertainments during the day. And if you were to take that away, they'll be in deep depression. They would be in deep depression and sorrow and anguish. And they'll be like, my life is meaningless. I hate everything. I'm serious. You took the internet away from people, they would not know what to do with themselves. They would lose it. And their depravity underneath is masked by their internet addiction, because it takes up so much time and it gives you so much false fulfillment that when it's actually taken away, you realize the depravity of your own soul. And you're like, and it freaks you out. I'm keeping it real. Like most people need to go on like a hardcore boot camp, dopamine detox, renewable. I mean, first you need to get born again, but then you need to go into like a serious, like imagine just 3 months of like not having internet at all. Like, I don't know, bro, it's like we have no control over this thing. It controls us. You know what I'm saying? So we need to like evaluate our lives with this thing. If you need to go to the mountains for 3 months and cut off all Wi-Fi, I don't know, maybe you need to do that. If you've got a serious internet addiction, maybe that's the only thing, a dopamine reset, a deliverance session, getting all the demons out of your soul. Because that's what happened to me on this tongues journey. I actually got the demons out of my soul. So I am less erratic in this area, but I still have to watch it. I still have to watch the dopamine addiction and the getting carried away by the currents of the internet. Anyway, in conclusion, I feel like that, yeah, Wi-Fi is most people's gods. And if the devil is the prince of the power of the air and Wi-Fi works through radio waves, through unseen means in the air, there's an argument, there's a discussion there. I bless everybody here. In Jesus' name, amen.